Hey everybody, I'm Katallina, and today we're here to talk about episode 2 of The Most Notorious Talker Runs the World's Greatest Clan. In last week's episode, we had Lloyd and Tanya do their best Steve Miller Band impersonation, doing Go On, Take the Money and Run, and in this episode, we find out that doing that is gonna have some super duper heavy consequences because Noel is not taking that lying down, and Noel is fucking savage. So, we actually see that he immediately starts thinking about what steps would have needed to be taken for this to all happen, and he starts to instantly begin planning his counter moves. We find out later in the episode that Noel is somebody who generally likes to try and be decent and friendly and stuff, but he also expects that there is always going to be a probability or possibility that somebody could theoretically betray him. And much like other characters who think in this kind of ilk, he is someone who has plans ready for when that inevitably happens, which, given the kind of world these people are in, that doesn't entirely surprise me. I mean, it always sucks to have to think pessimistically, but I mean, for survival purposes, thinking in a prepare for the worst, hope for the best kind of mentality is definitely a way to go if you want to actually get things done and ideally not get screwed over. So I can definitely see where he's coming from. But holy crap, boys. I mean, it's not even just that he wants the money back. It's not just that he wants to potentially beat the crap out of these people for doing what they did to him. It's the way he goes about everything that is absolutely jaw-dropping and absolutely incredible. And I think poor Walter, through all this, is sort of just standing there scratching his head like, did that just happen? Did that just happen? Did that just happen? Because holy crap, do things happen. Like, he ends up catching up with Tanya and Lloyd, and he ends up selling them to slave traders because he basically gives them the option of, do you want me to get the guards and have you spend 10 years doing manual labor with a 2% survival rate? Or do you want to become a slave for the rest of eternity? And I mean, that would be enough in and of itself. But I mean, some of the other stuff he does is crazy. I mean, he beats the absolute crap out of Lloyd, paralyzing him and then just punching the absolute shit out of him. I don't blame him for that one. I find it really funny when Tanya's like, please stop, and he's like, what, would you like me to hit you instead? Like, hello? Yeah, you were in on it too. And I mean, he actually uses his powers to find out and to deduce that she was. And she's all like, that spell isn't right, that spell isn't legal. And he's like, well, that spell isn't legal unless someone's a criminal. And you actually helped steal the money, didn't you? And it's like, yup. I mean, last time I saw a dude actually do so much gender equality had to have been like Ainz fighting Clementine in Overlord. So it's been a hot minute since I've seen something quite this successful. I get why he didn't actually physically hit her. It's nothing to do with fondness or anything. It would have made for bad promotion, both potentially in this world and definitely in our story as viewers, because everything she did was passive, whereas the things that Lloyd did were active. So he dealt with her passively, invading her privacy, reading her mind, getting the information he needed as though she was a can of soda and his powers were a straw and he was sucking it out. Whereas he didn't bother doing that with Lloyd, he just beat the absolute crap out of him. Which, given that, this is supposed to be the weak character, and he did that, was absolutely hilarious. But I mean, it's not just the fact that he was so absolutely brazen in how he dealt with these people who had betrayed him. It doesn't stop there. When the slave trader he's called in to buy these two to try and recoup his money comes in, they're all like, yeah, I'll give you $6 million for these guys. And he's like, nah, why you being so cheap? And the trader explains about stuff about the church, about marketing, about all kinds of other stuff that's going on. So Lloyd's like, okay, here's how we're going to do this. You're going to give me 11 million and I'm going to not tell the church that you spent 30. And he's like, what? And every time the guy tried to argue, Lloyd just brought it up. 12, 13, 14, 15, and finally the guy just gave in and paid him $15 million for these two people, whom, technically speaking, he probably had no actual right to sell. But I mean, yo, this is somebody who obviously doesn't have a strong moral compass as far as the fact that he has the connections to call on a slave trader in his back pocket. I mean, this guy ain't playing around. So that is what goes down with the whole Lloyd and Tanya situation. And then at the end of the episode, we see that Walter has decided that being a seeker is not for him, and he's going to go off on his merry way. And I 100% don't blame him, because not only does he witness this whole situation, but Tanya's all like, you should save me, Walter, you should save me, you should save me, and then not giving Walter time to even make a comment, yes, no, or other. She immediately turns around and starts calling him a piece of shit and insulting him and making fun of the size of his dick and God knows what else, which shows what kind of person she actually is, which was really yucky to begin with. So, I mean, it's like these people kind of deserve each other to an extent. I mean, I get where Noel is totally coming from with the fact that he was pissed off that people stole the money. But, like, Noel is absolutely, like, ethically insane. Like, holy crap, dude. I'm not complaining. I love characters like that. It makes me want to watch the show more and see what he'll do next. Somebody like that is riveting when you don't know just what they're actually capable of. In the real world, no thank you. Get me away from that craziness. In fiction, though, oh honey, sign me up. That is just amazing. And I am 100% here for it. Sadly, we did have to part ways with Walter because this is not for him. Fortunately, he and Noel do actually part on good terms. Noel gives him a bottle of booze and everything. They seem like they're pretty friendly. Noel actually seemed kind of bummed that Walter is leaving because Noel actually thinks that Walter is a great warrior and that he would have been a great asset to the team. But he respects his choice. He doesn't try to do anything to manipulate him or anything, which shows you further depth of the way that Noel's character actually works, because while yes, when somebody was wrong to him, betrayed him, did truly bad things to him, he got them and he got them good. Whereas with Walter, who constantly had banter with him, constantly had arguments with him and everything, we didn't really see much of this. There might have been some bickering, but nothing on this scale of behavior was ever done from either party, which shows the levels and layers that there can be to Noel's character. So now it seems going forward it's just going to be us as the viewers and Noel in the party. And we're going to have to see what will happen. How is he going to build this great clan all by his lonesome? Who is he going to meet? Are the characters going to be as batshit crazy as he is? Or are we going to find some nice sweet characters? There is no telling as we move forward, which is interesting because it leaves every possibility open. Overall, though, I was very happy with this episode. I thought that it was very well done, and I look forward to seeing what will happen in the future. So, did you guys watch episode 2? What did you think of it? I'd love to know, so drop a comment below and let me know, and I'll talk to you in the next video. See you later. Bye!